to improve your focus, how to avoid distractions, and how to improve your attention span. That's what we're talking about today. If you're tired of feeling scattered and want to regain control of your time and your mind, you're in the right place. But before we get into that, why don't you go ahead and hit the thumbs up on this video and hit subscribe if you want to see more content like this. First things first, let's talk about discipline. My day job involves the creation of short form content. And that actually hasn't negatively impacted my attention span the way that you might expect. In fact, I work remotely, and that requires a lot of discipline, a lot of self-discipline to stay focused. So here's what I've done both professionally and personally to curb distractions and improve my focus. So first of all, to combat distractions, I've taken Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, any of those social media apps off of any of my devices. I will about maybe once a month log into Instagram to check on some stuff related to the short form content that I have to work on, as well as then I'll just check my messages at that point kind of thing. Occasionally I'll log into Facebook because I need to promote something that I'm working on, but I try and close it down as quickly as I can because it's just a time suck. So I've also revoked notifications for any non-essential apps on my phone. So another game changer for me is we're using a work mode routine on my phone. You can do this on Android or iOS, doesn't matter. They have different names for the same thing, but just dig into settings and you will find the work mode routine, or just routines or focus modes as they'll call them on Apple, ways to lock down and different parts of your phone during different times. In fact, I'm not sure if you can do this on Android, even though I do have an Android phone, but I remember when I used to use an iPhone, I know that you could even set it not just based on time, you can put this on both of them, you can set it to schedule during working hours to block certain apps, but on iPhone at the very least, you might be able to do it on Android. I haven't explored this option. But you can set it on location. So if you don't work from home like I do, but you work at a specific location, you can actually set it so that like when the map GPS in your phone says I'm at this location and this is just my work location, to actually block all of these distracting apps. On my PC, I use an app called Cold Turkey, which does essentially the same thing. This app lets you block distracting apps and websites and adds just an extra layer of defense beyond your willpower, because we all have good intentions, but those good intentions in and of themselves are not going to help us improve our focus unless we actually put extra layers in place besides willpower. I've even gone old school and gotten an alarm clock from the dollar store, like an actual alarm clock. And this allows me to turn off my phone at the end of the day, put it in a drawer, so that, because this is how it goes for most of us. We use our phone as an alarm clock, so we literally never turn it off, and it's literally the first thing that we do when we wake up in the morning is touch our phone. And so let's be honest, we don't just turn off the alarm clock. Now we start checking the weather, we start checking notifications, and those notifications lead you to go, oh, I need to go, somebody texted me that they needed me to email something, so now I've got to go find the attachment for that email. It's a whole thing, and before you know it, oh wow, I got to get to work. I don't have time for anything in the morning to read my Bible if you're a believer, or to just decompress, etc., etc. So trust me, it's a game changer for me, because now I can leave my phone off until I actually need to turn it on for any important reasons, which for me is when my wife goes to her day job. Until then, I don't actually need any reason to turn on my phone. There's nothing on there that I couldn't access from my computer if it was necessary. There's no one that needs to contact me by phone in this day and age except for my wife. So those are the things to combat the bad behaviors. Now let's talk about what I do to improve my attention span. So I've reduced short form entertainment in my life. Instead of scrolling through quick videos, I opt for long form content on YouTube. There's nothing wrong with short form content. As I said earlier, a lot of the work that I do does relate to short form content. It's not a bad thing, but unless you practice healthy rhythms with the content that you consume, if you're only ever consuming short form content, and let's face it, one always leads to another, and then you've scrolled for like an hour and you're just like, where did my day go? That's where it went. So it can be good in minor doses. There's some good information that can be found in some of them, or some entertaining things. I'm not knocking that, but don't make that your whole diet. Like, appetizers are good, but you can't live off of appetizers. You need main courses. So I try to reduce short form entertainment in my life. So instead of scrolling through quick videos, I opt for long form content on YouTube. I also am reading physical books more often. So I'm a big comic book nerd. So I actually go and I get comic books from my library, graphic novel collections. Because one of the barriers is we've got so much free short form content and social media content and high dopamine content online that's free and it's at our fingertips. Well, something that can make this easier is two things that I recommend. One is just get a library card. It's not for like old people in a bygone area. Libraries are actually pretty awesome. You can get free books, free comics, free movies. So I go to the library to get my comics out. I can go on the website. I can put it on hold. Yeah, I have to wait maybe a week sometimes to actually get that specific comic if I want something very specific, as opposed to just walking and picking up something off of the shelf. There's also an app called Hoopla and another one called Libby that a lot of libraries are connected with, which will give you sometimes ebook and audiobook content that you can access for free through your local library. So if you just want to read comics on your iPad or whatever, it's still going to be better. I'd recommend doing it physically, but it's still going to be better than all the short form content because you're forced to focus on one particular thing for an extended period of time. I'm also trying to read more traditional books, novels, educational books, things like that, because I find that the very act of reading, you just have to focus on one thing. If you're not reading, nothing happens. So you have to have your full attention span to actually appreciate a book. I'm also trying to listen to more audio content over video. I edit videos all day, so that's a lot of strain on your eyes as well. That's something to think about. So I'm trying to listen to more podcasts, audiobooks, audio dramas, that sort of thing. I still enjoy TV and movies, relaxing with my wife, watching those, but that's really more reserved for that. And so outside of that, I'm listening more to like podcasts and things like that, give my eyes a rest. And the thing about audio content is that it forces you to use your imagination because you can't actually see those things, which is turning on those creativity centers in your brain. So I'm also trying to spend more time outside, even if that's just a quick walk around the block every day. It helps refresh your mind, improve that focus. You know how like when your computer goes to sleep, the screen goes black, or you have a screensaver, or your phone dims after a certain amount of time? Well, our brains do that if we're just like sitting or just vegging out after a certain amount of time. Our brains start to shut down. So just getting up, walking around sharpens the mind, improves the focus. And we weren't created to be in all of these indoors all the time. Like, we need the fresh air for our brains. And so, not to get too preachy, but reading a physical Bible, if you're a believer, can be a game changer as well. I love the Bible app, YouVersion. There's other ones. They're fantastic. I still recommend them for reference and study reasons and that sort of thing, or to reinforce what you read if you want to listen to the audio part. But just reading your physical Bible more, I highly recommend. Why? The battery never dies. There's no notifications that come up. Also, for the parents in the audience who are believers and want to instill the value of reading the Bible into their kids, when your kids see you on your phone reading the Bible, you might think, hey, wow, what an example I'm leaving for my kids. I'm showing them that I read the Bible and that this is super important to me. But they don't see that. They don't know whether you're scrolling Instagram or reading the Bible when you have that phone in your hand. When they see the physical Bible, they know what that means. So there you have it. Those are my tips for improving your focus, avoiding distractions, and improving your attention span. So if you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for more tips on living a focused, productive life and for more enjoyable content. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.